What it do, what it do? It's your boy Andre Spruell, and you are tuning in to the Middle of the Fence podcast. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day, whether you're listening, watching, or both. As I like to say, time is the most valuable thing, so thank you for taking time out of your day. And we are bringing you another episode of this series that I'm bringing to you guys, and very excited to continue bringing you guys great episodes and great content and great people. And if you didn't check out the last episode, please be sure to check it out, whether you're a YouTube kind of person or a favorite podcast streaming platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, you name it. And today we have a very special guest, my boy Ace Boon Coon, Drake Brown.
Type shit.
How we doing, man? How we doing?
Cool, man. Another day of life, bro. Grateful to be here. Appreciate you having me on your platform, man. This is inspiring.
Well, thank you so much for being here with me. And just a super quick background. So Drake and I go back to freshman year of high school,
yes, sir.
Day one. And, it's just very, very surreal for this moment to come full circle that we've known each other pretty much longer than we've been living, which is pretty crazy to think about, right?
Since way before hashtags,
yeah,
bro.
right? Come on now.
Families interconnected, shit, a lot of commonalities, bro. It's a lot of love on this end, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of love, for real.
Awesome. And I already know you're going to provide great insight and really provide great value for the audience. So you ready to get into
it? Let's do it, bro. Let's do it. On your word,
awesome.
Man. Let's get it.
Awesome. So can you briefly describe your upbringing and what side of the fence you grew up on, whether it was the tough terrain side or the affluent acres side?
Yeah, bro. Absolutely, man. I grew up on the affluent acres side, I would say. Quality two-parent household. Got 3 lovely siblings, man. 2 being a little bit older than me, and Danny and Daryl. And then I got a little brother, a little Riley from Boondocks, named Drew. That's my guy. Uh-huh. We grew up, man, like always ducking and weaving. My parents were both, simultaneously climbing the corporate ladder. Mm-hmm. And so where their career took them is where the kids would go, bro. So I'm often prompted with the question of where are you from? And frankly, it really just depends on how I'm feeling, for real. Mm-hmm. Born in Florida and then moved to Colorado, Jersey, New York, Philadelphia, East, West, it didn't matter, bro. But definitely grew up on the more affluent acres side. I would say my parents really they did a good job of making sure we had all the basic necessities and then some. So I'm grateful for the work they put in, and I'm just trying to live on that legacy. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome. That's awesome. And from knowing you personally, from the time that we were jits to where you're at now and where you're continuing to grow and evolve into, you're definitely doing a great job with that. So I just wanted to let you know that.
I appreciate you,
of course,
man. You
of
a
course.
Sweetheart, bro. Thank you.
You already know. And do you think living in different states helped you develop a stronger sense of empathy for others? And if so, how does it influence how you relate to people?
Without a shadow of a doubt, bro, I think one of my biggest flexes is having had moved all across the United States, man. One thing I've definitely figured out is just, United States is crazy, man. It's 50 different countries, for real.
It really is so different when you go to these different states, because I feel like people that didn't grow up in the U.S., they think, that all the U.S. is like the same. But, going to New York versus Colorado, firsthand, obview,
down south, there's so many different, cultural nuances state to state. Out in Colorado, I mean, it's primarily Caucasian. They move a little slower. The vibes is crazy, though. Going to school in Boulder, Colorado was, frankly, my first time being in a setting where it was more liberal white people, which that was a culture shock in and of itself, coming from more of a conservative area of Jersey. Mm-hmm. But everywhere, man, down south comes with its own set of rules and regulations. We're all governed differently state to state, too. And so we're not going to get too deep into politics tonight. But the way people navigate situations and the way they communicate and their outlook on life, it varies person to person, state to state, though, for sure. And I think that's just given me an appreciation for people, bro. I was never scared to have a conversation with anybody, despite race, ethnicity, age, whatever it was, bro. It was like I've been thrown into so many different school systems and other organized, sports and all that. You have to be comfortable adapting. And I think that's what moving did for me is you could drop me in shit. You put me in Botswana right now, I'm going to be good. Give me 24 hours, I'm going to be good. So I think it's definitely giving me more empathy for people because everybody gets the benefit of the doubt until proven otherwise. And while I probably went to school at PWIs and I grew up, like, my living situation was mostly around white people, I was never living in a bubble, man. Like, I was always putting myself in spaces, whether it be through sports or through friends or through family, that broaden my perspective. And I think that's definitely been a value add as I navigate this, this corporate world and just life, man. Like, every day prompts a different situation.
Yeah, and I just feel like that's such a vital aspect of things because I went through that by growing up on the tough terrain side and then going to school on the affluent acre side. So, I can relate in a way. Obviously, it's much different going from state to state because it is a vast difference, but just the central idea and message of the fact that it's important to surround yourself with others that may look differently than you, talk differently, dress differently, because I feel like, especially in today's world more than ever, we're just so quick to judge people and jump to conclusions of all sorts and kinds, and it's like you truly don't know what people have been through, and it's crazy how much of an impact how having a simple conversation with people that whether they look differently, have different political views, religious beliefs, sexual orientation, whatever it may be, it's important to have those conversations so
to build that empathy, man, to see where you're coming from.
Connected.
And I think that perhaps a lot of people fear like saying the wrong thing or for instance, like a lot of Black culture is influenced by the media, so if there's other people who aren't Black probably and who don't associate themselves with Black people on a regular basis, their only snapshot of Black culture is music videos like going to an Eagles game. It's like I'm doing none of that. There's so much more than that. I got love for that. Right? Like
not every Black woman is twerking all the time, and not every Black person grew up in the streets and had was rapping and trapping and all that. Like,
oh my God, my stat line is non-existent. Don't look at my ball stat line. Anybody can get a bucket. I'm alright, but don't act like I'm. And motherfuckers, they be thinking, in gym class, I gotta get Drake first. Don't draft me first, bruh. I'm telling you, I'm decent, but there's better out there.
That's funny. And so as we pivot back to the upbringing portion. Aside from the traveling and constantly moving from time to time, what were some of the common challenges or obstacles that you faced during your childhood or with life in general? And who would you say was your biggest role model growing up to help you navigate through those challenges?
Yeah. My challenges, I'll preface by saying people would pay to have the challenges I dealt with, but challenges nonetheless. And honestly, it's just you are a Black person who grows up in primarily white areas and goes to PWIs, primarily white institutions. For those that didn't know, you live in like a constant state of a microaggression, bro. Like, for instance, I got my hair twisted up right now. You go to school the next day. Bro, are you a chia pet? I'm like, bro, no. I braided my hair, bro. Like, like down.
You're just jealous that you can't braid your hair.
Yeah. It's pretty much just one constant microaggression, man. Like, I feel like if I actually went out of my way to address a lot of the bullshit that I went through day to day, I would have been expelled from school, bro. Like, hearing a white person say the N-word was regular. There's only so much you can do. You can't address it every day. You know what I'm saying? So just dealing with ignorance more than anything. I think a lot of the people I went to school with had more or less, like, there was no malintent, but it was just obvious ignorance. And I think that it's as a result of their upbringing and being so insular and so one-track minded. I'll tell you what, one of the worst times in life, and this is probably for all Black people who was in the same situation as me, PWI, Barack Obama, first election, when he got appointed the president of the United States, bruh, You would have thought I was Obama next day in school, man. Nah, you would have thought I was Barack Hussein Obama the way they was acting like, oh, you know who he voted for? Oh, we can't even vote, bro. You know economic policy. Y'all know none of that. I'm like 12. Leave me alone. Big moment in U.S. history. Let me rock.
Yeah.
My sister ran for school president, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying we don't want another black president because he was in office already. And,
What?
you know, I'm like sitting here like, yo, this is out of pocket.
Oh
That's
my
a good
gosh.
woman. And that actually, to address the second half of your question, my sister is without a shadow of a doubt my biggest inspiration because all the issues I dealt with, she done did it first. She's 3 years
Yeah.
older than me. So seeing her always be just a continuous, consistent pathway of excellence. Like she exhibited excellence in everything she did.
Mm-hmm.
And she would take shit on the chin and still get them straight A's, still drop a triple double on the court.
She was nasty.
So she kind of
on the court, she
was tough. Baby Drew Holiday in a way.
Yeah.
But she definitely, on my worst day, I could look at her and be like, man, she found a way to persevere. I'm gonna do the same thing. She kind of gave the Brown last name its namesake, really stamped it. It was tough because, you know, I go to school, we're like 2-3 years apart from one another, so
Yeah.
it's big shoes to fill. Like, you know what I'm
I
saying?
can definitely relate to that because for me, it was my older sister as well.
Right.
Alexia, she's
Getting
5 years older
down.
than me. Alexia, I know you're watching this. I love you very, very much.
Ah, you too, sis.
And she was someone that, again, it was like she went through it first. So I was also able to sit back and see, like, okay, that worked for her. So I need to follow the similar path. That didn't work. So I need to make sure that I do this so I'm not in a similar situation. So it is a tough position to be in, I feel like, from that older sibling perspective, because then I feel like there also is that pressure on it because you are the standard. So it's like having to constantly uphold that and live up to it. It's definitely not easy, but
challenge accepted, and we both embraced it. And we're fortunate enough to have older siblings and older sisters at that who put the battery on our back. Like, go to school, lock in, you know, give it your all in everything you do, and you'll find a way to come out on top. And listen, proof was in the pudding. We seen it from Alexia and Danny, and it was like, all right, I got to get on that timing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Losing wasn't an option. Like, it's a privilege to have that mindset, though, for real, knowing that I'm going to go to college, that I'm going to move out, I'm going to get a job. Like, I think that there's something to be said about having seen it right in front of you and the person exemplifying that right in front of you, that it's like, of course, I'm doing that. Like, I want to live like that. Like,
yeah.
So.
And it's great that you bring that up because a common theme that comes up with one of the primary differences between the affluent acre side and the tough terrain side is that resiliency, that mental toughness that when you grow up on the tough terrain side, you have no choice but to have that toughness and resilience because of the hand that you're dealt with and the circumstances that you have to go through. And on the affluent acre side, that is a theme that is often missing or is developed much later in most people's lives, I feel like, on the affluent acre side. But for you to have that example to follow despite the upbringing just says a lot, and obviously it's catapulted you into where you're at. So
Right.
That's awesome.
And frankly, like all the glory to God for my parents, you know, having paved their own way, because I mean, the reality of the situation is like life wasn't too sweet for them growing up, so they made it so, you know, they could provide a better life for the next generation. And at this point, it's like the only way is up, and I'm grateful for them kind of instilling those values, because like you had mentioned, I mean, like, and listen, I only see it from, obviously, like, you my best friend.
Of course.
You were more on the trenches side.
Of course.
That was love. Orange was popping. We can get into that in a later episode.
Yeah,
Orange, New Jersey. You got an
Shout out
ally
to Big
in
O.
me.
Shout out to
Royal
Big
fried
O.
chicken,
You
bro.
already
Bucket of
know.
Royal. I be greasing on that. Anyways, yeah, bro. I forgot my train of thought because we started bullshitting. But yes, I'm right there with you, bro.
Yeah, and we you were kind of talking about it earlier as far as the stuff that you had to go through, like, in school, and I wanted to just take some time to talk about it because obviously we both went to high school together, and we went to a predominantly white Catholic private institution.
Word.
So obviously the experiences that we went through were pretty similar despite growing up with different circumstances. Is there a story or anything that comes to mind, like in particular or just like in general? So for me, it's like, you know, touching the hair, racist jokes, you know, how it was being in social settings like, you know, school parties or, you know, school dances, or going over someone's house and being like the only person of color there in those type of situations.
I don't wish it on my worst fucking enemy, bruh.
Yeah.
So many stories, bruh. I mean, shoot, we can jump right in. First and foremost, I have a bad memory. I have a vivid memory of meeting you in high school because I seen my brother. It was like the Spider-Man meme. It was like, and then we started chopping it up because, of course, you know, of course, we say we're both black, so it's like, all right, we got each other. I mean, listen, Lawrence Catholic, great institution, got a lot of love for it. Yeah. There wasn't a lot of white people there. So seeing you, meeting you, and then connecting on a deeper level was one of the more refreshing moments in my life. Same thing happened, all the schools I went to. I remember when I met my boy, one of my other best friends, Carol Rich, on a football field, and ran off Bulldogs, and I was like, bruh, we gonna be best homies. And I'm sure our mamas is gonna be best homies, our pops might link, all that, because it's all we got, all we need. It's an extra layer of comfort. But the crazy stories, yeah, plenty. The hair was crazy. Being called a cheetah pet is crazy. Like, that shit. And you see me in these streets, you call me a cheetah pet. Rumble. Get ready to throw
and they only called you a chia pet because you had a flat top, and it's just like, you know, and it's hairstyles and haircuts that they're not used to seeing at all. So, you know, that contributed to it, and the fact that it's just such a different texture, and then it's just like they just feel the need to just touch your hair like you're like a exhibit in a zoo or something like that. And I don't know, like that's how it felt sometimes. I mean, I always had like a super low cut. I had a mohawk one year.
I remember that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But
I was looking goofy.
Yeah. I was looking like Roscoe Dash. I was looking like Roscoe Dash.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, where to start? I mean, shoot, I'll never forget this one, bro. You know, I was running for class president and whatnot, and boy, I was getting dubs, bro. I'm a man of the people, bro. So it's all
for those that don't know, I can vouch that to this day, Drake is a man of the people. From high school, college, into life now, always been a man of the people. Always.
For sure.
Carry on.
So, you know, I definitely have no interest in getting into politics anymore. But boy, in high school, I needed that resume stamp because the GPA was I see. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to pad my stats. But anyways, I'll never forget, bro. I'm smooth with the pen. Like, I can get my Edgar Allan Poe bag. And so I'm running for president. I wrote a dope speech, man. Like, came from the heart, bro. I channeled my inner John Lewis, man. And I got in my bag. And I remember one of the English teachers, she brought me into her classroom because there was this rumor that I didn't write my speech or something. And for whatever reason, it felt racially motivated because I am smooth when it comes to literature, and you bringing me in and interrogating me saying you didn't write your speech because it's terrific. You know what I'm saying? And like shit like that is like, I know in my purest of hearts that you're not bringing in a white guy for having superb penmanship. Like, I just know it. So that was one of them for sure, man. I don't want to, I could do the whole pod on it, but that was one that would truly always resonate with me because it was like, you really have to, like, as a minority in a white man's world, for real, you have to always take shit on the chin, deal with extra bullshit. Because they don't even want to believe you when you being great. It's too good to be true. And that was eye-opening because I remember going home and being like, yo, Pop, was this sus or was this sus? And sure enough, bro, that was one of them.
Yeah, for me, one like memory that sticks out. You weren't there for this, but I went to a party one time with some friends that I've known literally like before high school during like the K through 8 days. And it was in a town where not too many people of color, let's just say that.
Sundown town.
Yeah. And so I go to this party, and it's like a basement party when, you know, basement parties were still a thing. I feel like they're not really as much of a thing these days.
Right.
And so it's a bunch of white people, and I'm the only person of any type of ethnicity or diversity there, and it was a good like 40 plus people there too. And at one point, one of the kids, and I was like 15, 16 at the time.
Where was I? Keep going. My fault.
This kid comes up to me, and he was talking to me like regular, whatever. And then he had the nerve to ask me, "How does it feel being the only black person here?"
Oh, how do you think it feel, boy?
I'm like, I didn't even know how to react in that situation. So, because I was a teenager and on my menace shit, I was just like, all right, I was already thinking, all right, I'm gonna grab one of the baddest girls in here, dance with her, get her info, and then I'm out with my friends. And that's what I did. Yeah. And that's what I did. That was like my get back. But in the moment,
you was feeling like Bad Bunny. You was feeling like Bad Bunny.
But in the moment though, it was very just uncomfortable, you know. And it's just like he said it, but it's like, what does it say about the other people there that were probably thinking that? Yeah, where it's like, oh, like who is this black person or Spanish person here? You know, like where is he from? Who invited him? So that was one moment where it was like, oh my gosh. And
this is weird.
Yeah, it wasn't a party like, you know, for people that we went to school with and things like that. But that was one that always just stuck out, you know. And another thing too is just like the racist jokes, like.
Get a new joke book, bruh. You rinse and recycle the same black joke. Very corny.
Disclaimer for this joke because it is very racist. But the common one: what do you call a bunch of black people hanging from a tree out there with you? It's like
burning me out.
You have something else,
burning me out. Here we go. I got another one for you, bro. I'm sure you've experienced this. Oh my God. So, listen. I'm going through the same academic curriculum as everybody, right?
Come on now.
Granted, sure, I definitely have a leg up in the black history from my parents, family, being black. You have a catered interest, a vested interest in learning about yourself, your roots. But I don't know it all. Anyways, Black History Month rolled around or whatever, and if you're the only black person that's in the history class during that part of that segment of the curriculum,
That's facts.
Be looking at you like you know all the answers. Like, I'm like, bro, I'm here to learn. Like, I'm here to learn just like y'all. Like, God forbid the word slavery come out of typically a white teacher's mouth. Everybody looking at me like, like I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I'm trying to get my education. And people are looking at me like I'm the object.
Yeah, it's...
burnout.
Yeah, and it just goes back to, like, being objectified and feeling like not being treated like a human being. And it's an aspect of being black or a minority and being in predominantly white spaces where when you mention sometimes you have to take it on the chin and just keep going. Like that's one of those things where in the moment you feel like you're not being treated like a human being. And it more so speaks to the ignorance of the people that are directing those looks and words and actions towards you. But something has to be done about that.
It's
obviously,
deeper, bro. This is generational. I'll be looking at you like, bro, I just want to meet your mom, and like I feel bad for not only you but your parents. They fumbled because you know they have instilled no empathy in you, no even in my mind. I'm like, maybe at their dinner table they're being told that others that don't look like you are sus or something, because I'd be confused. I'm like, yo, you're not giving me any respect right now. And like lo and behold, like we're going to the same school. Obviously, we had to apply to get here. We did the test. Like we're all here for a reason. And I'm getting treated like the lesser. But I have and I don't want to take all the time. But this
no. We have time. So go ahead.
When you told your story about the party, bro, a story came to mind for me, and this was in college. This was kind of funny because like factually he was right, but dog, you know what you was doing. Yeah. And I hope you listen to this pile, whatever, wherever you are in the world now, bro. But I was at a function. It was early freshman year, bro, and so I'm just getting my feet, I'm trying to get in the mix, dabbling here, dabbling there, meeting everybody.
And this is college,
bro.
right?
This is college.
UC Boulder?
Yeah, prime time, talk to me nice. You know what I'm saying? Talk to me, Shador. But yo, so I went to a function, right? And only black dude there, whatever. I don't feel uncomfortable because it's not my first rodeo.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like, all right, I peep game. I know that's the deal. Early exit for sure. I wasn't gonna do my whole night there.
Yeah.
But a boy comes up to me, and he was like, he didn't say Drake because he didn't know me because we're all kind of fresh. Mm-hmm. He was like, bro, can you believe like we're the only African American people here? White dude, mind you. I looked at him. I started scratching my head. I'm like, bro, what? What do you mean? And he was like, dude. And he went out of his way to tell me this. This is how you know he's corny as hell. He was like, dude, so I was born in South Africa. Or no, he was like, my parents were born in South Africa, but I was born in America. So technically I'm African American. So get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, you went out of your way. You reached, you stretched to tell me that, can you believe we're the only two? And mind you, he didn't say black people because he knew what he was saying was like, sure, politically correct. But I'm like, Doc, you're a burnout. I think right after that, I was like, I'm out of here. Next function.
Yeah. And it's like, ethnicity-wise, he was right, but race-wise, it's not. You know?
He lucky I was.
Yeah. And, you know, and even though I'm a light-skinned man and very high yellow, I know. But because of growing up on the tough terrain side and affluent acre side simultaneously, I have the wherewithal to recognize, even though I'm lighter skin, I'm still viewed as black in this country.
For sure.
Regardless of how much success I have, my accolades academically, professionally, and that's just how it is.
When you get pulled over, they're not saying, show me that your mom's Argentinian, show me she's light skinned.
Exactly.
No, they see that crispy fade. They know you didn't go to Supercuts. And they say license and registration.
Sports clips.
License and registration, my boy.
So, because of the common theme of the experiences that we went through in school and just around people that are not minorities, to say the least, what advice would you give to someone growing up in a similar privileged environment about broadening their perspectives?
Beyond travel, because it's a privilege to be able to have seen a lot of the world. That's a great question, good brother.
Thank you.
I would honestly say, bruh, dig into your roots. Like, don't lose sight of who you are. Like, I think, and you probably have seen, like black folks who you can tell, like, aren't embracing, they're putting on this facade to try to, like,
appease white
fit
people.
in, or, like, appease white people, right? That won't do you any justice in the long run. I think that there's a lot of respect that you get in upholding your true self and your true character, not losing the values that were instilled in you. I think it also helps, like I said, that I had an older brother and an older sister, and so I've always been exposed to like black culture like through them. Like, you look up in my sister's room when we was kids, and it's like, she loved Usher, so like there's like Usher up there, and goddamn Mio and Donnell Jones in the cuts. So that's like, clearly she was embracing who she was, and Beyonce and all whatever, Destiny's Child. And so like, I was never confused by who I was. I was always, and I grew up in a strong my father and my mother, bro, like, they're strong black people who boy, you leave the crib without lotion on, you better put some lotion on, my boy. Yep. So I guess the advice really is like, take pride in who you are. I think, say it with your chest, like, take pride. Don't act like you are somebody you're not. And I think eventually, whether they like it or not, people are going to conform to you because they're realizing he's not switching up. People are going to conform to you. And honestly, that energy is radiating, especially if you're doing all the right things. We're expected to fail. Yeah. Like, people think of black people and they're like, they probably live. People look at me, they don't know about bringing somebody on the street. If I think
they would judge you, just like I mentioned earlier. If it's someone that doesn't look like you, talk like you, dress like you, then you're gonna judge them. But it's like, you don't know me from a can of paint.
Me exactly. You don't know me, my story, yada yada yada. But yeah, the long story short, I think that's where my head is on this question. Is just like, bruh, you is dope. Like, being you is cool, and like, It's a privilege to have this melanin, bro. I don't even get sunburned.
Right, looking like a lobster.
I'm wilding now.
You know? But
you're real.
but you know, for people that grow up in an affluent acres type of area and broaden their perspectives, I feel like you have to just put yourself in situations that you're gonna be like uncomfortable in. Now, I'm not saying like go and rob a bank or a store or something like that. Obviously, you know, like listen, you know, stay within the laws. But you know, purposely making an effort where if it's a coworker, you know, that you know has a different ethnic background or things like that, try to get a better understanding of their culture and way of living, or going to certain social events that you would never even think about going, but you go and it gives you a chance to interact with people that are different than you
and taking a genuine interest. Like, for instance, you're obviously half Argentinian, bro. I would always pull up to your crib. I don't think I was acting differently.
No.
And you know, in a weird way, there was a slight bit of, like, extra comfortability when I would go visit, like, you and some of my other friends who live, and what do you call it?
The tough terrain?
The tough terrain. Yeah, I'm gonna get that right.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're around minorities. So, like, all of the bullshit you deal with in your part of the guys, like, that's out the way. Like, we all people here. Like, no one calling me goddamn chia pet over an orange. Like, So there was, like, this comfortability. And then going back to, like, being proactive about taking interest in people and culture, bro. Like, your Argentinian side, it was an absolute joy feeling the energy when I would go over to the crib to watch, like, the Argentinian national team. And I'm over here wearing my light blue, and like I'm over here with your grandpa. It's like, oh, vamos Argentina. Like, I'm over here having a ball, and like the true self-expression that you see in that side of you was like something that I cherished. And honestly, like to this day, I think it's played a big role in like me being curious as to what life is like for people who are South American, to the point where I'm actually going to Peru soon. That's gonna be a good vibe.
Nice, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, bro, it's like it's not even like it's stepping out of your comfort zone. I guess I never had a comfort zone because I moved so much
because of your upbringing.
Yeah, and like granted, like not everywhere I moved was like you could see the constant progression in the way my father and mother were navigating life, and so like. Every time we moved, we were in a different vibe, like mostly white communities, but you couldn't not be down to meet new people. It's like you had to adapt. You had no choice.
Yeah. And aside from, you know, visiting like me and a few other people, do you have other stories of when you interacted with people on the tough terrain side and what those experiences were like for you? Like, did you see it as much more of like a contrast and just analyzed it from there, or was it more of adding to that empathy and understanding of people on top of, you know, moving around while growing up?
I would like to think it added to the empathy, but it's so funny, like, as we're having this conversation, like, obviously it's clear and obvious that I grew up on more of the affluent acres, but, like, I would spend time with the people that I loved. It didn't matter if they were from the affluent acres or not. So when I go to visit you, it's love. Like, of course, I understand I'm in Orange and not in Randolph, and that if you're walking on the street, like, keep your head on a swivel, but it really wasn't about nothing, bro. It was all real, genuine love. I'm with you. We stamped. I go, my brother, actually, my older brother, Daryl, his half-brother, but we're not even going to talk about as love. Anyways, I'd say that because he would always split time between where we were living in typically the affluent neighborhoods and then where he was wanted to visit his other side of the family, which was in Philadelphia. And I'm not saying they're from the hood or nothing, but it was a stark difference. And so when I go and interact with, like, you know, I be in whatever, West Philly, North Philly, it's love because, like, right, like, you just got to have the lived experience, honestly. Like, I can't even really speak to it. It's just love no matter where you go. I'm not really going somewhere thinking, like, oh, I'm going to the hood. Like, I got to switch up. Like,
yeah, and to add to that, like, the point that stood out to me when you were talking was the fact that it didn't matter what the setting was like it was about the people that you were spending the time with, and I think that is the best way.
We just cracked the code, bro.
That's
we
what
need
it
to start
is.
dispelling myths. People need to start putting themselves in what they call uncomfortable situations to dispel a lot of myths, man. Like, people who live in the projects, well, first of all, I should say, most people are good people. Like, people who live in the projects or in a rough neighborhood or whatever, that's just like one thing led to another, and they live there, but they're good people in their heart. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of always been my experience, is like, I've been to a ton of different neighborhoods in the U.S. and across overseas, and I dispel a lot of myths. Like, for instance, let's say Barcelona, people are like, oh, watch your wallet, people gonna pickpocket you. No, dummy, go in there, dap them up, show love, take a vested interest, and they're not trying to fleece your pockets.
Yeah.
Like, it's just all about putting your feet, get boots on the ground, and immerse yourself in the day-to-day.
And you're not able to connect with people on that type of level unless you have a strong sense of self and who you are, because it sounds great in theory, and it could definitely be done, because it should get to a point, and I'm 100% with you on it, where it's like you should accept people for who they are and not, you know, be so judgmental of their circumstances and things like that. Because it's like people that, let's say, live on the tough terrain side, whether it's like the projects or a hood area, it's like, do you really think that most of those people want to stay in those types of places and don't want better for themselves? But, you know, the disadvantages that people that live in those areas have, that's for another episode. But again, it just speaks to the ignorance of it.
Preconceived notions are the root of all evil. Like, point blank, period. That's a bar. But yes, it's the root of all evil, bro. And it really just takes, like, proactively seeking out those lived experiences. I'm not saying go walk to the hood, but like,
exactly.
You know, life bringing you there is just like, these are people.
Like those people that that go to the hood and like do those vlogs to do pranks and all of that. Like, don't be doing anything like that. Don't be doing anything like that. Like, that's number one. So if you're even thinking about it, don't do it. Right? And to tie it in, do you think it's possible for the tough terrain and affluent acres side to come together and learn from each other? And what would that look like?
I guess, like, objectively, we've tried with this whole notion of, like, integration. I mean, I'm not going to say that the United States is black and white, but there is its own segment of black history where we tried to, you know, pave our own way with Black Wall Street and even the Black Panther Party. It's like, we tried, and then they burned it. And so now we're in this state of integration. Tulsa and all that, right? And so, hell yeah. I think I'm case in point. You know what I'm saying? We're both case in point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, but I think it takes, just takes being open-minded, being like, I don't know,
like there shouldn't be programs that are forced to, like, integrate people together. So what I mean by that is, you know, people feel differently about, like, DEI hiring and you know, and things like that, but it should just be more of a natural thing and willingness to want to learn about other people's cultures and upbringings and things like that. But in the system that we're in, it's when you have a system that has been in place for hundreds of years, and throughout most of those hundreds of years, it's been a lot of disdain and negativity towards people of color. You know, it's like that's where it starts, and it feels like beating a dead horse with that, because it's just like, oh, we have to change the institution and things like that. But every time that we try to fight for change, even as recent as the Black Lives Matter stuff, it's like it was cool to see everyone doing the protests. And obviously, you know, for people that don't know, you organized one in your neighborhood, which, you know, speaks to your character and how strongly you feel about, you know, and how proud you are of your culture. And I partook in one as well. I was writing articles and things like that about it, but it's just like, it's forgotten about now. It's like, where was that continued fight? It was like, it felt like it was done because it was a cool thing to do at the time, and everyone else was doing it. And it's like the fight has gone. It's like something like that, or opportunities to bridge that socioeconomic gap and bring people of the different economic backgrounds and ethnic backgrounds and things like that together. But it's just like, it's always temporary when when something like that happens. I feel like
I agree. There's so much beauty in togetherness. It's a shame that like a lot of people who like they associate black people with like the pop culture and the sports or whatever, but it's like, how about the people? Like only a small percentage of us are pursuing those careers at the highest of levels. Mm-hmm. Everybody else is fighting to do the same thing you're doing. We're trying to be them engineers. We're trying to be those, artists. We're trying to author a book. So we're sharing the same space, but it almost feels like we're always still undermined because of the head start that and like I said, it's not black and white. Like there's other people in the world, but there's something to be said about just like actually being a genuine ally versus that like slacktivism, if you will. It's like
I like that term, slacktivism.
Yeah, slack. I ain't coined it, don't get me wrong, but you can tell the people that were in it for the trend and the people that are still shoulder to shoulder with us.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the end of the day, like it really is just like wake up and choose to fight the good fight, choose to be on the good side of history, choose to be one. Like everybody wants to unify. You can't unify if you leave minorities on the back burner.
There's only one race, the human race, It's that simple.
Not playing. Yeah, facts. But yeah, man, I mean, I don't know. I feel like wake up, don't choose violence, choose peace. Like it really ain't that deep. It really don't gotta be that serious. Just treat others the way you want to be treated, goddammit.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's it. And we can both relate to having experiences in life that most people just won't endure growing up.
Right.
And we've obviously spoken about it in this episode. But looking back, what do you think are the most important lessons that you learned from growing up, or just like the one or two most like important lessons that you've learned from your upbringing?
Life?
Yeah, and just living life.
Hell yeah. Seek out the small seed of triumph in every adversity. I go back to, my sister over here trying to run for president. We don't need another black president. Flip that on his head, bruh. I'm going to be the black president, and then my little brother Drake is going to do it too.
Yeah.
So, I recognize that we aren't in the wrong for just trying to, be a part of student government. We're really trying to do it. Other thing I would say is, man, like never shy away from a conversation. You don't know what it's going to unlock, and you'll learn something along the way. For sure. I mean, you have family members that speak broken English, and we still find a way through love.
Yeah.
So don't shy away from the conversation just because you feel like you can't make ends meet. If you want to make ends meet, you can make ends meet. Body language goes a long way. We can play charades and get to know each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those definitely. And then I guess, I think I mentioned it earlier in the pod, but give everybody the benefit of the doubt until proven otherwise, right? Like everybody gets an even playing field until they do some nut shit.
Until they show their true colors.
Yeah, until they show their true colors. And they will come out over time, and then you don't got to rock with them. But off the jump, off the rip, bro, look at it as if you blindfolded. You just linking with somebody, you meeting somebody, you getting to know them. The world would be beautiful if everybody could just close their eyes and build, start communicating versus having.
Hey, it might have to be a show idea. Yeah, you never know. Netflix, we have an idea. Come holler at the boys. Come holler at the boys.
Get with me, Netflix. Get with me. But yeah, those would be my top three, honestly.
Yeah, I like that. And on top, and to piggyback off that, what advice would you give to someone growing up on either side of the fence? What's like one piece of sound advice that you would give to anyone, regardless whether they grew up on the Affluent Acres side or whether they grew up on the tough terrain side?
Yeah, you charting your own path. Don't put yourself in somebody else's shoes. You got your own. You know what I'm saying? You got your own pair of kicks. Throw them on. Every day presents a new opportunity, and just go out and get it. And just like be a person of integrity. Be a person that is noble to the highest extent, and then all the chips are gonna fall. All the chips are gonna fall in the right place. Your intuition and not your intuition, but your conscience goes a long way. Like, if you feel like you're doing something that's a little sus, tighten up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I resonate with that personally because of the ventures that I'm pursuing, obviously with the podcast and everything outside of it as well, and realizing that everyone goes through their own shit and trials and errors and things like that. But people tend to use it as a crutch for why they are not living a fulfilled and joyful life. But it's like, for example, like my circumstances, growing up in a high crime rated neighborhood and the challenges that I've had to deal with growing up and the lessons learned along the way and things like that. Although it's a unique perspective, I'm not the only one that has gone through that. Or, for example, people that have lost a parent or something like that. Obviously, like, that's tragic, but, you know, you're not the only one. Us being minorities in predominantly white schools or being in predominantly, like, white areas or just areas where there's people that don't look like us, you know? We're not the only ones that go through that. And I think that that's another layer of it, is recognizing that if the story that you tell yourself is, you know, to feel bad because of your situation and what you went through, and it's not to negate the experience of it in any kind of way, but have that broader view in that moment to realize that odds are you are not the only one that is going through that or that has gone through it. That's another layer of it. And as we start to wrap this up,
real quick, in athletics, they say next play mentality as adults and just as human beings. We're not all athletes. Next day mentality. You got a whole new, fresh set of 24 hours to go out and be great. And so just flip that switch, man. Flip that switch and choose to be better day in and day out. That's all it really is.
I love that. Being actively present each and every day, because the more you value the present, the more the future is taken care of. And the past is the past, so you can't undo it.
Our boy AJ always says the present is a present.
Yeah.
And that's real rap right there.
It really is.
Live by that.
It really is. So as we bring all this to a conclusion, how can listeners connect with you or follow you on your journeys? This is your time to shout out your social media handles or any other or any businesses or anything to shout whatever you want. Oh man,
don't give me the mic. Mic check 1 2 1 2. God damn. If you really like me, I mean, I'm a chill guy. Certified _Drake on damn near everywhere. Businesses, yeah. I always got love for businesses. My brother, Daryl Brown, he owns a boutique fashion house in the Rittenhouse area of Philadelphia called Maison Brun. Go get fly, get with him, get fly, bada boom, bada bang. We in Jersey, stand up. My boy Carl Folks has opened up a wine bar in Newark called Consigliere. If I butchered that, it was really on accident, but that's gonna be hot, and that's up next for sure. It's over in Newark, as previously mentioned. Otherwise, honestly, I don't know. I love my mama.
And just so everyone knows, we're going to have links and all the information for those businesses and the show notes and things like that. So, Drake, thank you so much for being here and sharing your insights and stories. And I know I got a lot of takeaways, you know, ones that I already knew and ones that I didn't even know, you know, with how long we've known each other, and you've provided great value to the audience, so thank you so much for joining us. And if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to follow and subscribe and comment on your favorite podcast streaming platform, whether it is Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, you name it. Subscribe. And if you prefer to watch us as well, then please be sure to subscribe on YouTube and be sure to hit the little notification bell so you can be the first to be notified when the latest episode drops. And no matter what side of the fence that you grew up on, we're all more alike than we think. My name is Andre Spruell. Catch you guys next time.